First of all, Country Day just played lights out. They took us off our game early. I got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, they played a great game. But one thing with our girls is I got to give them, they never give up. And if y'all seen that in the last set, they played their hearts out the last set. Try to move on, but we just didn't make it there. But, we got a young team, and we're going to push through, and we're going to be there again next year. It's sad for our lone senior here, but the rest of our group is all coming back, and I think we'll be sitting here next year again.
Coach, talked about, it seemed like the first two sets, they were just, especially their serves, was just right on point. How does that make things good for y'all?
Oh, it affected our whole game. I mean, we couldn't get our passes to our setter. Our setter was all over the place, so that makes our hitters ineffective. I mean, and so the whole game just changed by them serving. I mean, the last set, they kind of, they missed a few serves and it wasn't on point, so we stayed in the game. But young team, we made some errors. We'll build on that for next year.
Well, for the players, what was this experience like? I know you're the lone senior, so I know you were here last year, but what was this experience like to be able to get back here again?
I think it's just a different experience than last year, because last year it was expected of us to make it this far, but this year, being that I'm the only senior, we had 3 freshmen and an 8th grader on our varsity team who have helped us to get to this point, and no one expected to make it this far. We had doubt on us the whole season. We did not expect to go this far, so it was just a different feeling being in the championship round this year.
What made Country Day so tough? Is it their height? Is it, the front row players? What made it?
I think it was definitely, their serves were 100% on point, and they were hard serves, right over the net, dropping down. It was very difficult for us to get to. And they have that middle who she's able to place the ball. She can get up and she can just put it down, and that's what helped make it.
Now, I know this is your last game, but do you feel like you set the standard for Westminster to be in the state championship or bust every year? I mean, last year, you got your seniors, had a couple seniors this year. You're the only lone senior. So no matter the classification, do you feel like you set the standard of, hey, this is where we need to be every year?
I think so. I think this year it helped us to really realize that they can do it. Being that I'm the only senior, it's not a big void to fill, and I think that they know now that they can do this again next year. And I hope that they can just keep their heads up and rest it off and come back next year and win it for us.
Coach, for I don't know how long, it seems like forever that Westminster's been around, but to not have been to the state final with volleyball in school history, and now in back-to-back years being state finals or finishing a state runner-up, what does that say about this program and where it's headed?
Well, I think instead of rebuilding, I think now we're rebuilding. So I think it's a big thing is people had heard their doubts about us. Our district was probably the strongest. We had 3 of them in the top 8. We went out there and wiped that district out, and then we played Ascension again. I just think that now they know that Westminster is going to be there every year.
And Coach, having the younger players, how good is it to continue to have that consistent experience of hey, we have the standard of reaching state titles going forward?
Yeah, I mean, with our young girls, and I got to give it to, some of our young girls played really, really well today, especially our little middle that hasn't played middle at all. She was outside, setter, right side. We moved her to middle this year, and she played outstanding today. She made some big plays for us. And for a freshman to go out and do that right away, that's pretty impressive. So I think that our standard is, for the 8th graders, we got a little 8th grader on our team, and she's going to be ready for next year. So I think, everybody knows that you got to compete for a position on our team every year.
One last question, Coach. What did you feel like y'all needed to do to be able to knock off Country Day this year?
Well, it was going to be a big chore because we had to get our passes on. That's one thing we really preach all the years. Our serve receive has to be better. And they took us out of our game early. And once they took us out of our game, we just kind of froze up for the first 2 sets. And like I told them the last set, I said, this is your last game. Just play your hearts out. And they did. We competed that last set. We were right in there.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it.